back. I'm back. I'm back.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Create the Edge Live Season 2. We're on episode number 17. And today we have with us two amazing ladies from Down Under, from Melbourne. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you String Nguyen and Diana Nguyen. Thank you so much, Diana and String, for joining us today on today's episode. And it's absolutely lovely to actually, speak with both of you face to face. We've been obviously connected for a little while, and it's an absolute pleasure and an honor. So for those of you who actually don't know String and Diana, what I'd like to say is come out from under the rock and embrace two of the most brilliant content producers that you'll find on LinkedIn. And they are brilliant at what they do. So with String, she actually started off her career as an interior designer, and then she went into being a video correspondent. She's a video evangelist. She's the founder of String Story, and she's the founder of The Trusted Voice. The main thing about String, as you would know, she loves her fried chicken, as you can see right next to her name on screen. And we're going to go a little bit more into that as to why and where the fried chicken came from. I'm sure it's not just because she loves KFC, but she's brilliant at what she does. She's got the fried chicken little pillow in front of her as well, which is absolutely brilliant. And she basically shows leaders, entrepreneurs, companies how they can actually amplify their voice to become a trusted voice among your peers and within your industry. She shows people how they can grow their personal brand on LinkedIn to basically gain influence and also attract business. So thank you so much, String, for joining us today all the way from Melbourne. It's an absolute pleasure and an honor to have you on board.
Oh, awesome intro. I feel like that was like a champion intro, right, Diana?
That's all right. You've got the PayPal link to actually send through some credits later on.
Yes.
Fantastic. And those of you who actually don't know Diana Nguyen, she is brilliant at what she does. And I was actually going through her profile, and there are a few things out there which actually I had no idea about. I mean, she started off as a freelance writer. She was a program coordinator and a panel member at the Australian Broadcasting Corporation. She started off as an entertainer. She loves acting. She's an actor and producer. She's a drama teacher, a facilitator, anything to do with the arts. And one thing which I really didn't know about Diana is that you were also an AFL commentator. Wow. That is absolutely brilliant. The first time I actually realized that. So kudos to you. She's a LinkedIn video director at String Story Media. She's also, a video and confidence building coach, a master of ceremonies. And if you have not watched her TED Talk, you really need to. And we're actually going to go a little bit into that TED Talk, because I absolutely loved how she brought together, certain aspects from her past and how it's actually shaped her into becoming the amazing person that she is at this present moment. She believes in adapting, making a shift, and then creating change, and basically how to tell your story through heart and comedy. And she is one of the most vulnerable people who I've come across on LinkedIn. And that's just shows that people resonate with those who are genuine and authentic and take off the masks from in front of their faces and resonate with people through what they do, because they actually walk the talk. So thank you so much, Diana, for joining us today on today's episode along with String.
Oh man, that was beautiful.
That was,
My
yes, that was
pleasure.
a champion.
Oh, you
Yeah.
really scrolled down my LinkedIn. I think it's a while since anyone scrolled that far down. But yes,
Yes.
it's
Do you know what, Joseph? You should probably make a living in like doing intros.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate
That's a
that.
good
A
revenue
lot of
line,
people
yeah.
actually have actually said that. So yeah, I should be a voiceover guy, or just being the intro, or I could actually take Morgan Freeman's role, right? As doing intros. Yeah.
and I'll leave a recommendation for you later. Okay.
You're very
Best
kind.
intro
You're
ever,
very kind.
Joseph.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And for those of you who don't know, there's the snort. If anyone missed it, love it, Diana. So we're going to go a bit further into it. But another thing which I'd like to obviously congratulate both Diana and String is the work that they've done on Fee and Me TV. It's a 1-year anniversary coming up soon, next week actually, precisely in about 8 days' time on the 16th of June. And we're going to go a little bit more regarding that. But, to start off our discussion, I'm actually going to ask String the question. And now, Diana, if you want to close your ears, you can. But String, how did you actually end up meeting Diana? When did you guys meet? How long have you guys known each other? And tell us a little bit about how you guys got together, because you all do a lot of stuff together, both online and offline.
So Diana, like, have I told you the story how I cringed the first time I met you?
Yes, you did.
Oh, she cringed. I love it.
She always reminds me. She always reminds me when I cringe.
Yeah, because so I was doing before becoming a video correspondent or video content creator. I was an artist doing string installations and connecting people in time and place together, and that's how I got my name String in the first place. And I was doing my art installation, and Diana it was like a Vietnamese fair. Or was it that, Diana? And that is like a Vietnamese like New Year, and Diana was doing her show, her comedy act as Kim Hung in pink like in a traditional pink outfit or like a very bright outfit, and she reminded me of my mum or aunties. So I cringed. It's like because like she reminded me so much of my mum and my aunties, like my Vietnamese aunties and stuff. And then but then I saw her off, her real face behind the comedy act. It's like, oh my God, she looks totally different. And since then, I kind of like caught up with her, and because I was pro-Vietnamese and discovering my own identity as a Vietnamese Australian. And Diana happened to, and I crossed paths in that moment. Since then, we became friends. We fight a lot, but we also support each other a lot.
Yeah,
I've got to ask you this question. Sorry, go on, Diana.
No, probably 2013 is when we met. I think 2013. Yeah, so it's a long time ago, 7 years ago.
Yes.
Fair enough. You'll have become part of the furniture in each other's lives. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I have to ask this question. Even if Diana and String get mad, you mean you guys are not sisters? Really? Really, y'all are not?
If I take off my glasses, do I look alike?
Do I look alike?
I mean, if you put me and my brother together, he's there. Oh, sorry, there. He's there. The two of us don't look same. I mean, but you mean the audience all thinks y'all are sisters? You're not.
Well, it's the surname. Nguyen, if we go back in history, it was the emperor's name in Vietnam.
Right.
One of the popular emperors, Emperor Nguyen. And so when there was war in Vietnam, people in the middle would escape prosecution, so they changed their name to the emperor's name. So that's why there's a lot of Nguyens, because they changed their name to escape prosecution. But I'm a legit Nguyen. I'm just saying I'm not a fake Nguyen, I'm a legit Nguyen.
Okay, so what's the stamp for a legit Nguyen versus a fake one?
See, it's a very interesting thing that you just. It's a very interesting thing that we've inadvertently brought up, because obviously this discussion is not scripted. We're just having a chat, and that's all. That's what we always like doing with our amazing guests from around the world. But you just brought up such an important point. Like people face persecution just because of certain things that they have which they can't change. Their look, their background, their racial identity. And the main thing is, that's what's happening in this world at this present moment. And I think it's more important now than ever for basically people to come together and celebrate one humanity, or as Brother Ahmad says, human unity, which is so important at this present moment. We need to have that empathy, and we need to have that compassion with our fellow human beings from around the world. So I have to ask you this question though, String. Tell me something that you hate or dislike about Diana.
Oh, amazing.
Oh my God, that's a good question. What do I hate? It's like the movie 10 Things I Hate About You, which I think I realized I hate.
There are 10 things. Wow.
Oh, one.
Not 10 things. It's
One will
just 10
do.
one. But it's like the way that the 10 things I hate about her is like I hate how creative she is, because I wanted to be more creative than her.
Agreed.
See, I love that, because that's being very honest, and that's actually a huge compliment. And the best thing I think one professional can give another professional is that we want to be better than you, and it's that really nice form of being competitive. I think healthy competition actually increases or betters each and every one of us in some way, form, or mean. And I think that's so important.
I believe that, and I have to say, String is my competitor, and I think that's why I'm so honest. Like, I know people talk about collaboration and all that, but because String got me onto LinkedIn, like exploded, it made me want to do that too. And I think it's always good to have healthy competition, like Michael Jordan, like from The Last Dance, the doco.
I love that doco.
He showed that to be a winner, you need to be competitive.
Yeah.
But in a team.
Spot on.
In a team. And I love that doc because it showed 5 leaders coming together to win 6 championships. And that's team.
Yeah. And spot on. And I couldn't agree more. And so Diana, I have to give you rite of passage as well. So what's one thing that you really dislike about String? Bring up the claws.
I'll be honest, is that she's one of the most giving friends I know, and she knows she tolerates me, and she has given back a lot to me, and that's why I always give back to her. Like Fee and me, if it wasn't for her 5 years ago to say, hey, go crowdfund money for your web series, I wouldn't be where I am right now. She was my cheer squad and my rock when no one else was, and that's why I've kept her on my back, because she's always the one nudging you, hey, like like telling you to get your shit done. And I think that's really important to have those people alongside of you if you're on this entrepreneur journey. Like, we are both creative entrepreneurs, and I think it's really important to have those people who get you to the next step. And really important, and that's probably the most annoying thing about it.
Tell her, like,
because she pushes you. She pushes you. Which is great.
I remind her, like, where's the things that I need to do? So, because she's a bottleneck, so I was like, where's my shit? So I could do my shit.
That's important. That is very, very important. All right, so let's get to know about a bit about your stories. So String, how did you, how was the path from being an interior designer and to what you're doing today? What brought you to that realization that you are amazing, by the way, String, at the information and advice that you provide regarding content creation, and people do appreciate everything that you say and do. But what brought you to realizing that amazing potential that you had within you, and for you to bring it out?
So I had a meeting today from a client. Well, he became a client today, and we studied together 10 years ago. As we both studied interior design, and I realized he came to me because I was able to market myself better. So he wanted help to market himself better. So I realized that what I do really well is that I make things look easy, or make information, complex information, and simplify it. So in a way that's super actionable. And I always had that skill set, but I didn't know how to monetize it or believed in myself till I went away from I had to escape Australia to find out my worth, my market worth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably because like a few things, like I had a mum who had to a single mum. I came from like really hard situation or different, like low socioeconomic background. So I had to fight all these barriers in the first place. So I realized I didn't have like certain information. So I'm always looking for information that helps me level up all the time. And I only found that in America because like people were giving me information on how to break these like barriers or how to level up your mindset, your thinking and things. And it's only in Australia we have like this thing called a tall poppy syndrome, and in Asia we like being humble.
Yep.
And there's ways of like promoting yourself without like being, like there's American brass way of like, look at me, I'm top shit. Whereas like I do it in a way that says like, look at the awards I won, look at the look at the sponsorships that I gained. So my portfolio is my best way of saying like, look what I have achieved. So I had to like learn how to like get escape Australia and escape the bubble that I was in because like there was a lot of naysayers. So I had to like escape that and escape my own mind as well because our biggest enemy is ourselves.
Yeah.
Yep. I so agree with that. And I love how you actually said it's so important for us to just make sure that we're keeping, we're keeping up with the notion that it's important to keep leveling up. So with regards to that, String, especially with what you are doing at this present moment, how are you leveling yourself up? What have you done during this period at this present moment when the entire world is pretty much at a pause? And how have you sort of enacted that into your own life, personal development wise?
Oh, more personal finance wise. So I realized like I had to break a lot of like mindsets around money and personal finance. So I made in the last couple of years like try to level up my personal finance and understand how to develop income streams as well. So that's what I'm doing right now.
It's awesome. Absolutely love it. So Diana, your turn. I loved your TED talk, obviously.
Thank you.
I love that little that story as to when you're walking past that dance studio and you watched the little girls actually dancing the ballet, and you ended up being a ballerina. And tell us a bit about what's the main thing as to what made you embrace that inner artist within you. What was that moment?
I've been very lucky that I had a father who loved music. So I remember dancing with him. There's videos of me dancing at 2 to 3 years old with toilet paper in the living room. It was very part of my life. But like in my TED talk, I talked about disruption of family and domestic issues that we had with domestic violence in our home. And in that moment, when I heard music float through from that ballet studio and into me, it didn't pass me, it went into my heart. And if I could like capture another moment, which was like last week I had a photo shoot and I wore a tutu for my new branding photos. And it took me exactly to where I was, to that 7-year-old child, of that joy of that child. So in my life, and I've had to, because I'm a survivor and I've worked really hard to be where I am, I have had to create joy to find ease, if that makes sense, or to have peace with myself. So I was very lucky that dance was my breathing. And I say that a lot because when I smile and laugh, I'm breathing. If I'm not, I'm dead. So I've been really lucky that dance and music has been so integral in my life and my heart. And age of 35, I'm still doing it. Yeah.
It's lovely. And it's so important. And I'd like to actually ask a question. Like, this is something I'm sure you've been asked. A lot of us have actually been asked this question personally, because we're all content creators. We actually put our faces in front of the camera and share our thoughts, views, and advice, or little things that a lot of other people are actually scared to bring themselves out in the open. How much do you think is too much when it comes to social media and vulnerability?
Oh man, that's a good question to ask me. I've had to balance that and juggle that. And if you know my content on LinkedIn, I've been quite vulnerable on LinkedIn, and I only found it through String. Actually, String, do you remember? We did the 7 volts.
V's.
7 V's. Yes. The String has this strategy about content creation. And December 2018, I had just gone out of a relationship, and I wanted to post a video about my heart being broken, because I believe that as a human person, we have to embrace every aspect of our lives. And I think because I'm lucky, I don't have a job that could fire me. I don't have a company that I'm representing, but I'm representing myself. So in December, just before Christmas, I went to String and said, I don't know if I should post this 7-minute video talking about my heart being broken. And
I remember that. That's when we actually connected.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's cool.
And anyway, String was like, did this strategy with me, and she said, it's part of you, go tell it. And because of that, I went and told it, and that is part of my journey, that story. Yeah, like I met Kristen Sherry. She saw that video and she became one of my really good friends.
She's amazing. Yep.
Yeah, she is. And that is part of my value base. Like my foundation is empathy and storytelling and heart. And even like the post that I did this morning about the Black Lives Matter. I was nervous for 2 to 3 days to talk about it, but I felt like there are people, and that's one of the things I've learned, because I did Kristen Sherry. I'm just shouting Kristen Sherry. I did Kristen Sherry's UMAC last month, and really pinpointed my value base and who I am and what my strengths are. And I feel that there are a lot of people who don't know what to say. And if I can be a voice for them to help them articulate what they say. And that's what I talked about in my TED Talk, that I'm willing to be a fool. I'm willing to stuff up and fuck up, saying F words, but I'm willing to fall down and mess it up so that you can see me do it, so that you have courage to do it. And it's that is something that like I do get scared of. Like it's hard to be vulnerable, but if you know that this is you and this is your heart speaking, yes, do it. But also, if you are scared and you don't know how to do it, talk to someone. Get them to filter that for you. Get them to be that sounding board. I think that's very, very important, that you don't go all out vulnerable if you are not in control. That's 2 different ways of being vulnerable. You never want your...
Usually, if you're scared of posting something, it's because that's your heart is wanting to say it, but your brain is saying don't post it, because it's probably what if someone hates it? You sound awful.
That's right.
Awful.
Fear of judgment.
Yeah, and so that's not what I mean. Like, we're our own worst enemies, but when you're about to hit the publish button and you're so scared, it usually means that you really, really want this post to do well.
Yes,
and that's normal.
We've got a very interesting question from Jonas Georgakopoulos. Sorry, I absolutely murdered your surname, Jonas. So he's asked, embrace or banish negativity? String, I'm going to ask you this question. Do you think one should embrace negativity or banish it?
I'm pretty stoic. I mean, either or.
Fair enough.
But people love, if you're too much in the negative side, you pretty much you're going to be associated with it, because negativity is remembered more than positivity.
Absolutely. Negativity sells. That's the reason as to why we see that media is absolutely abound with everything and anything which is basically negative. We hardly see positive aspects. I can't remember who actually did a post a few days ago, but the number of posts that we've actually seen with whatever is happening in the US recently, I think the percentage of the negative posts as well, to the positive posts is like astonishing. It's like maybe 1 in 100, which is actually a positive outlook. That's yeah.
People like struggle porn the most because they probably feel like they're struggling, so they're looking for something to help them feel like, oh, there's someone worse than me. So that's the struggle porn.
That's right. So, String, that actually brings me to a question which I really like to ask you, and for entrepreneurs as well as business owners and business leaders, who are wanting to basically establish their own personal brand. What's your methodology that you take them through? Let's say, for example, if someone comes to you and they're like, I'm really scared of doing video. Is that the only thing I can do to actually establish my personal brand?
The first thing you have to do, and which is what Diana mentioned before, is like finding a bigger reason why you want to do video in the first place. And when it comes to the why, it's more about like, why are you doing it? Why are you doing video? And usually if you take a step back, I usually go through everyone's like V's, like what is your vision? Usually that's your why. What is your values? There's 2 types of values, like your personal values, if you want to build up your personal brand, or your unique value proposition, right? And then it's your vote. Who are the people that you want to attract? Like whether it be building up your audience or whether it be attracting clients. The voice is like, what key messages are you trying to reinforce? So then you position yourself. Your visuals, like mine is fried chicken, but how do people remember you? And validation, what are your goals? You want to know that you're succeeding. If you're not, then you have to think about what you need to fix. And victory, how do you monetize your influence as well?
Wow, I absolutely love that. That this should be like a course taught at university.
Yes, it is.
She has a course. I did it.
No, I really think that, String, you this is something which I think people are missing out. When they're taking their schooling or their college educational journey, because this is the kind of information and education that actually equips people moving forward. Joy, what do you think?
Absolutely. You've just taken all the words. And String, if you are already got it in a university, and Diana's been one of your alumni in that program, please put out a shingle as a mastermind saying, become whatever the best content creator is in the world in 7 days, 5 Vs. And then later on, when they need a shrink, send them to me.
A shrink, I'll send them to you.
Yeah, because after the first one, they'll stop at the second, vision and my purpose. What's my purpose? I want to make money. That's why I'm a content creator. No, you can't make money by being a content creator. What's your why? What do you mean, what's my why? I want to make my first $1 million. Diana did it. So why? Yeah, Diana did it. She took 10 years. Do you realize that?
Yes.
So, but that's the part. Sorry, Diana, just give me a minute here.
You finish?
I work on the marketing side with startups and with medium-sized businesses, all right? And I currently have a client that's, pretty decent-sized business. And the whole year has gone in COVID from February, where I've just tried to get this business owner, the managing director, to say, jump onto a video call with your team because everybody's working from home. Stop. This guy's doing WhatsApp videos. I'm helping him record 30-second, 45-second, 1-minute messages on a bloody Zoom call and putting it onto a WhatsApp group on his behalf. But I don't understand. He just doesn't want to be live. And I said, look, we are in a group call. There's 7 of us, right? So even if you stammer, I'm there. And I always say, 15 times. It's something like your snort, Diana. So brilliantly said. Please market that, put it out, because there are tons of people I personally interact with who have written in on DM, Joy, love your post. Where do we start? I said, just start. Just write 5 bloody words and click publish. Forget about the fact that somebody's going to like it. And I've gone to a second step and I said, I tell you what, you reached out to me. I don't know why you reached out to me. Oh, we love what you write about this on the marketing side. Great. I'm not writing about, my heart is bleeding while I'm posting because I don't know when my next $10 is going to come from for my food or whatever it is. So why don't you do one thing? Tag me in it. So I actually love supporting a bunch of, nobody knows these guys. They have like 40 followers, 130 followers. They're not even in 4 digits. And they tag and I immediately respond. I literally will respond to them ASAP, barring the time I'm sleeping. And the next thing I know, my DM goes 3-4 levels,
Oh,
and
yeah, I know.
Yeah, I write back and I said, I'm not doing this to get thanks. I'm doing this so that you simply start writing. And the more you write, the more you talk, the more better you'll get. So a methodology, this is what sits very well with all of us. We are, unlike Diana or you, I think majority of the people are logical, left brain dominant, So when you give that kind of a 7V, 5V, it makes eminent sense. And I agree with what Joseph said. Walk them through, they take the value, they start writing. It's good for us because, the more people post, the more people create content, the platform gets, well, talking of algorithms, the algorithm gets more crazy. It's good for us.
Yes. And then Joy, when you're done with the therapy, send them for me for dancing.
Oh no, I was coming there. Shout out to brother Ahmed Imam. He put out a beautiful hashtag joyful. Send them to me because I think Youssef's sister is there, middle of the night.
Yeah, Elaine's there as well. Yeah,
Elaine's there. She gave me a hashtag which I love over last 1 year. It's called hashtag JA is JB. And for those watching, and Diana and String, JB stands for a cartoon character called Johnny Bravo.
Oh, I know Johnny Bravo. Yeah.
Comprende?
Like yellow. Yeah.
Correct.
I know him.
And everything. So this dude here acts as Johnny Bravo. You haven't seen one on video, but those Joseph and Elaine have in a different conversation.
Joy, you have to. I'm putting on solo layout. You need to do this. Come on.
No,
I
don't have anything
Joy.
ready.
No,
I don't have anything ready. I don't.
Doesn't matter. Just Johnny Bravo. Just say whatever.
I've forgotten the line also from Johnny Bravo, Youssef. I don't have it ready. Seriously, I don't have it ready. So, yeah, I'll come back to that.
I'll be back.
No, I'll be back is already on our trailer. That was what we decided. Yeah.
That's not like a Johnny Bravo like trailer. I was like, I know that dude. Why is he on here?
What we decided, speaking of the trailer, is when we decided we'll do it live and we'll bring it back during this COVID period. We said, okay, so season 2, I'll be back. And who else but the Terminator, Arnie, So that's the background. But let's get Diana dancing. I think that'll be more entertaining for the audience.
Yes, give us some time. We'll dance out. We do a dance out.
Well, yeah. I was born with 2 left feet, Diana. So I mean,
we can do a sit dance out. Sit down.
See, it's not so hard to wave your arms.
So I mean, just now that Diana, you mentioned it. This is something which, if you are not aware, Diana's birthday was held recently. She did a 4-hour dance-a-thon to raise money for the comedy doctors, and I think that is such an amazing initiative. Was it the comedy doctors?
Clown.
The clown doctors. My bad. My bad. My apologies. So the clown doctors. And it is something which is so nice. How many of us actually take that initiative to put our own bodies on the line, quite literally, to actually raise money and raise awareness. It's not just about the money. You raised about $2,500, but you raised awareness, and that just basically, and that is what people resonate with. People resonate with those who are actually givers, right? Because there are so many takers in the world. But there are very few people who actually give without expecting anything in return. So thank you, Diana, for doing that. I really, really appreciate what you did, during your birthday. And I think that's an absolutely amazing initiative that you spearheaded. So I really appreciate that. So Diana, I have to. Yeah, sorry, go on.
No, I just want to say it's a bit of a lie. You just said I was expecting people to give me money. That's why I danced.
Yeah. No, true. But
love
you know,
my-
you were expecting. Nah, I love it. See, the thing is,
Now that's the
it's
vulnerability.
important because you are raising money for an amazing cause, and
Yes.
and you put yourself out there as their brand ambassador to raise awareness, and this is what people need to do.
And thank
No,
you
you're
so
most
much.
welcome.
Thank you for helping me finish the night off, because you, Brian, and
Most
Jamie
welcome.
were at the end dancing, and you stopped me from dancing. So thank you.
Yeah, because you
My
reached the
pleasure.
like
It was my pleasure. Yeah,
4
yeah,
hours
no,
later.
absolutely. It was an absolute pleasure. It was an absolute
Thank you.
pleasure. So I mean, I want to actually bring something out. So Diana, you've got a course which you do, which is the Be Brave. And how one person can be brave. What do you focus on? What's the program all about? And what can people actually? How can people be brave?
Well, it's coming from my TED talk, but it really pulled me back to last year when I went to the States, and I went on the LinkedIn dancing tour. I went to 7 cities all over the US, and the LinkedIn locals all hosted me, and I had 500 people decide to dance with me, dance with a stranger. They've never danced in public before, but they trusted me. And I realized why they trusted me was that because one was that I was willing to be a fool, but they also craved that as well. They craved the idea that they could step up, that they could have something that I have. And I think that's the mistake that people do have, is that they could replicate me. But really what I want people to do is to really find out what brings them joy. And once you find out that childhood memory of the joy that you've had, then can you build it into your confidence. And so it comes from storytelling. It comes from presenting, how to stand up and tell your foundation story. And we talked about String helping me find my content, my voice. For me, I think people don't think their story is interesting, so they don't want to tell it. But I believe every single person has a beautiful story that they haven't unlocked. And I think that is what's happening on LinkedIn, is that there are so many stories. People are telling stories so extraordinarily, and so I want people to remind themselves that they do have a story. I want them to unlock that story, that 7-year-old child who was out in the garden looking for ants, or that child who climbed up that tree to look at the sunset, or that child who talks to dolls. Just to bring back that element of storytelling. If we can go back to our child, we will find joy and find treasure. I just think that people have so much treasure inside of themselves that they're too scared to let go. And I hope that I can nurture someone to trust me to let that out. Yeah.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. No, absolutely beautifully said. And Diana, I've got to ask you. So, if I was to ask you a question along the lines of what is the most beautiful memory that you have from your childhood, what would that be?
Oh, gosh. So one would be the ballet. I feel like because that's become my foundation story. Another one would be, well, you're really asking me a good question here. Okay, would be my mum coming into school. So there's a reason why I celebrate my birthdays. There's a lot of reasons why I celebrate my birthday, and it's because of my mum. My mum's a single mum. She raised 3 daughters on her own. We were on welfare. I was the eldest. I was the man in the family. I had to mow the lawn. I had to be the example for my sisters. So every year, my mother decided that on my birthday, she would make it extra special. She would bake a cake. She would make 200 spring rolls, and she would come into the school, and in my classroom, we would have half an hour Diana time. So that on my birthday, at least I could be celebrated, that people could just go, oh, Diana, in that half an hour, before lunchtime. And for me, it created a culture. It created a culture of giving. And I remember the teachers always happy when they got a spring roll, or when the kids got lolly bags. Like, my mother did that so that I can receive love. So yeah, that is a
Love that.
story of, you know, why I give. Yeah.
It's
That's a
beautiful.
beautiful story
Beautifully
about why
said.
you value your birthday. That's a beautiful story.
Sorry.
I said
Thank
that's a
you.
beautiful story why you value your birthday. Love it. Love it. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Very
Yeah.
important
I
day
think
for all
I
of
think
us.
situations. Yeah, exactly, and I agree with what Joy is saying. You know, I mean, I think at one point in life, each and every one of us, especially when we were younger, we always used to love celebrating our birthdays because, you know, it brought back really important and special memories of togetherness, of people actually celebrating you for who you are. You know, without any you know, notions, without any, you know, additional expectations. It's just like people just used to be there because they wanted to be present for you. Now,
Yeah.
I mean, String, I've got to ask you a similar question. You know, if I was to ask you, what is the most beautiful memory that you have from your childhood? What would that be, and why?
I think it's the most embarrassing one.
Mm-hmm.
Like that one triggered, like, not beautiful, but most embarrassing one was like
Sure.
my
Sure.
you know how there's always playgrounds in my primary school. There was this timber-based playground, and you know how you could slide down things. My pants
Yep.
caught onto a piece of nail at the edge of the thing when you go down, so I ripped my
Mhm.
pants. So I was crying and laughing at the same time because the kids were laughing at me at the same time. So like, but me, I was like laughing and crying at the same time because even I think it was funny. That's like that. That's the memory that triggered at the moment. So I just want to share that because it's funny.
Beautiful.
Fantastic. Love that. Love that. So, String, because you're actually leading the marketing part of the 1 year anniversary of Fee and Me TV. Tell us a bit more regarding what Fee and Me TV is, and you know, what's going on. What can we hope to see in 8 days from now, the 16th of June?
Joy wants to say something because he pointed his
Yeah.
hand up.
Before String fills in what's coming up in a week's time, I just want to tell the audience, for those who haven't seen this, please do not Fee and Me. There are beautiful 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 9 minutes kind of episodes. I've just spent the last couple of days catching up on those episodes. And
Oh, thank you.
Diana, who's sitting there, she's not Diana out in that Fee and Me. Honestly, you got to see this. And I'll
She's
tell you
Kim
where.
Huang, Tiger
just gonna
Mom,
take-
Kim
No,
Huang.
I'm just going to take a minute here because Diana, I have to tell you, the storyline resonated like crazy. I'm a third generation Brit, brought up in UK for the first 13 years of my life, in an Indian community living amongst Brits, right? So what do you do in that show? Man, oh man, I mean, there's so much of it that went home was unbelievable. I mean, I had my wife asking me, what are you laughing at? What are you laughing at? And I sat her down last night. There was this one episode where I think it was your daughter who comes home with some results and etc. It was a 10-15 minutes one, and we watched the whole thing, and the two of us were just laughing, you know, just sitting on the bed watching that show. Please watch
Thank
it,
you.
audience. Go to Fee and Me before String says what she's unveiling for 1 week.
Yeah,
1 more
do you
year.
remember? Do you remember like how like this is Diana without like the
Yeah.
the character, and then you watch
Mhm.
the character, and you would not expect
So
Diana
different.
To be
No,
yes,
no,
that's
not at
how
all.
I
Not
saw
at
her
all.
in 2013, like that. That's like
Fair
the first
enough.
time I got Kim Hong. It's like now like
Fair
you
enough.
I can tell you
seeing
something.
me.
I meet that mom anywhere. I meet that mom anywhere. I'm going to put
This is
the
the
distance
thing.
between Singapore and Melbourne. I just make a U-turn and put the distance. She's scary. You know, she's scary. You know, beautiful acting. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, you've got humor, you've got motherhood, you've got, you know, that whole atmosphere, the way your daughter plays it out also. I just love that. Love those episodes.
Thank
Great
you.
show. Great.
Thank you so much. And it's the reason why I'm still single. That's why.
Okay, sorry, that was uncalled for. My apologies, but no, then somebody's got you wrong, Diana, and I'm not going to go down that road. Let's share what she's got planned in a week's time. Yeah,
So on the 16th, it's
Mhm.
probably on the 16th, which is like 9. It's not that far away actually. It's gonna be the 1 year.
It's next Tuesday.
See, it's
Next
really
Tuesday.
close. We're going to be doing a Facebook Watch show. Have you seen Facebook Watch? Where we go watch it all together. The whole show from episode 1 to episode 5, and we go watch it together. And then it's going to be like a celebration of being me.
With commentary. With commentary.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. That's a new hat. Now she's throwing me another symbol.
Well, there you go. There you go. You're the marketing strategist on content creation and content delivery, String. You will absolutely smash it. I've got no doubt about that at all. But I must say, Diana, I think my favorite episode. You know which one? The weapon room. You know, the moment when I actually saw that, I was like, that is so true. So those of you who actually don't know what I'm talking about, you know what the weapon room is, you really need to go to feeandme.tv. You've got that on the scrolling at the bottom. It is absolutely hilarious. And not just that episode, you know, I think each and every episode, it's got comedy, it's got a lot of values in it, it's got a brilliant message, and it's wonderfully enacted. So leads me into my last question for you both before we go into the rapid fire round. I'm going to ask Diana first. If you were to describe yourself in one word, what would it be and why?
I'm just dying to say.
She said dying. Is that her answer?
Actually, Anna just put it long time back on the scroll. I mean, Diana's joyful.
One word, Joseph. And what does that mean?
One word.
Why? Why did you pick that word?
Oh, why? Okay, gotcha. One word. Okay, love. And why? Okay.
Why would you choose the word love apart, among all the other words that you could have chosen?
I think because I'm ready for love. I'm being very honest. I'm ready to have a family. I'm ready to share my life with someone. And I'm ready. So hi. But yeah, that's my heart. That's my heart.
Awesome. Love that.
I'm just ready to share love with another human and give birth to more love.
It's excellent. I love the honesty and the vulnerability that you just shared right now, Diana. Same question to you, String. If you had to describe yourself in one word, what would it be?
Can I be emoji? An emoji? It's a fried chicken emoji. It's like
fried chicken. Yeah, sure.
Emoji.
Sure.
So every time you go see fried chicken, you go think of me. Where you eat it, where you go do with it, when you see it like a merchandise, you want to send it to me. And my KPI for marketing is the amount of fried chicken stories I get per day. It works.
Fantastic.
There you go.
Why the fried chicken though? What's the backstory regarding the fried chicken? Why not something else?
Yeah, why is it not fried fish or?
Do you think fried fish is catchy? I think fried chicken is like universal food. One of the universal.
Right.
Foods. Yeah.
And you'll have to excuse me because I'm more on the fish side. Sometimes I'm fishy, so I like fried fish. But and ethnically I have a diet with fish.
Joy, you could have fried fish. You just need to introduce fried fish everywhere in your marketing.
Yeah, everywhere.
No,
everywhere.
I have introduced something, and you've given me an idea out of one of your V's. I've got to take my this guy's help out there to create that visual first, so that I can create the merchandise. That'll be another episode.
Diana is like her snort, and I told her she has to embrace her snort. And now she's got the pig snort everywhere. And I think her snort is more stronger than her dancing.
Yeah,
Watch this.
Sometimes I know a lot of people.
That's what endears you.
That's what
endears people.
But from a totally different angle. Her snort reminds me of getting ready in mixed martial arts. Every time I've seen or heard to do it, and even when she's done it now, I don't know why and how. Though, I've got an association on that side. But all it triggers in me is that you're getting into your be ready stance.
Getting into your zone. You're getting into the zone. Yeah.
No, I mean, you're getting ready to get your butt kicked when you're learning, Taekwondo, Tai Chi, whatever you're learning, before you get into MMA or whatever it is. I don't know. That's the association I have with Diana's snort. It's not a snort to me. It's like it's a trigger to be ready. End of story.
Oh,
so
wow.
interesting.
I'm kind of puzzled.
That's the first time I've heard of that. Diana, like, see, your snort has evolved.
Yeah, you'll get a lot
Snort
of
has
those with me,
evolved.
Diana.
Snort has evolved.
Fantastic.
Rapid fire.
All right. So we go into the next segment, which is a rapid fire segment, which we have with our guests, just to get to know them a little bit better, just to understand, what makes them tick and, just know a bit more about them. So the first 3 questions are going to be for String, and then Diana is going to go second. And the next 3 questions are going to be Diana first, with String answering next. So the first question for String: who would play you in a movie on your life? It can't be yourself.
The character from Spirited Away. I don't know her name. She's a cartoon character, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Spirited Away, yeah.
Yeah, that would be me, because I like cartoons.
Fantastic. Good answer. Diana, who would play your part in a movie on your life?
I love Sandra Oh from Grey's Anatomy, and you might know her from Killing Eve. She's theatre trained and is a TV actor and movie actor, and I just love her authenticity when she performs.
Fantastic. Great answers. Second question for String: if you had one superpower, what would it be?
To give everyone fried chicken.
Okay.
Jeez,
Very interesting.
really on
We
brand.
would all gain a lot of weight. We will all be supersized. Let's put it that way.
I think I'm going to talk to KFC to get into a annual sponsorship agreement with String, not just for Australia, but I think probably globally might just help their brand quite a bit.
Yeah,
Especially the fried chicken bit.
Fantastic, Diana. What superpower would you choose?
Languages. I would love to learn all the languages in the world, and particularly my mother's language. So I would love to learn Vietnamese again.
You don't know Vietnamese, or you don't?
It's hard. It's quite colloquial, so it's quite bogan Vietnamese, and Vietnamese is quite poetic. So I lack that skill when I MC weddings. I don't. It's not fluent, and it's a bit embarrassing. So yeah, that would be my superpower.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Awesome. I think that's an amazing superpower to have, especially learn languages. You can communicate with anyone and everyone from around the world. Like I would love to learn Mandarin, because I know, obviously, I'm fluent in English. I know Bengali as well as in Hindi. So Bengali and Hindi, they sort of cover Bengali, Hindi, and English. They cover a pretty big part of the world, especially India with another 1.3 billion people. But if I know Mandarin, that covers another really big segment of China and all other Chinese territories as well. So I think if I was to learn one language, that would be Mandarin. But absolutely, what a lovely superpower to have, to actually know and be able to speak all languages. Love that, Diana. Thank you for sharing that. All right. So String, if you were to describe yourself as an ice cream flavor, what flavor would it be?
Can you guess?
It can't be fried chicken. I mean, come on. I mean, that. I don't know. With fried chicken and wasabi. I mean, like, I don't know.
What? Fried ice cream down under.
Yeah, but like fried chicken and waffles go really together. But I never had a fried chicken ice cream before.
Have you had fried ice cream?
Fried ice cream I have, but not fried chicken ice cream.
Correct. So that's the closest to the fried chicken ice cream, String. That's you.
Yeah, that's me. Okay, I'm fried.
Sorry, that's my suggestion. That's all.
Fried chicken ice cream. That is just brilliant. Okay, Ben and Jerry's, if you're actually listening in, you need to make the 33rd flavor. Okay, let's just put it that way. Fried chicken, and trademark to String Nguyen. So, Diana, what flavor ice cream would you be?
So good. I was going to say pork because of the snorting, but that's not okay. I would say passion fruit.
Passion fruit.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mm.
that's a very interesting flavor.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you for your answers. Now, Diana's going to go first, and
Okay.
String's going to go second. So your first question, Diana, if you could ask God one question, what would it be?
Oh no, I'm getting too deep now. I'll be like, "Where's my daddy?"
What? That's okay. That also works.
No, don't. Oh my god.
People
Yeah,
who
that's what
don't know, Diana is a comedian. She
Yeah.
absolutely crushes it on stage. So if you've not followed her, but come on, Diana, this is the show which is just PG rated. Come on.
Yes. No. I'm being serious. Like my dad. I'm talking about my dad.
Okay, fair enough.
Where's my dad?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's a
It's
great
both.
question.
Fair enough.
Right on.
String, the same question for you. What question would you ask God?
Why does evil exist in the world?
Mm.
Deep, very deep
So
question.
that became deep. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing that. Okay, great. The second question for Diana. What's the country that you'd be okay never visiting in your life?
Yeah. Arctic.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't like
Very,
cold
very
weather.
diplomatic. Very diplomatic answer. I would say
That
very
was-
diplomatic answer.
Make sure that he's going to
Far.
a country where nobody's there.
Yeah.
Can I take that
Fantastic.
answer too? Can I take that
Sure.
answer too?
Sure, you
Arctic-
can.
But that's like the most diplomatic answer I ever heard. It's like, oh, touche.
No,
I
I want
know.
to go
I
to
know.
Antarctica. No, but I do want to go to Antarctica because there's penguins there. But I won't go
Yep,
to the Arctic
yep.
because there's nothing there.
Well, oh, what?
Yeah,
I
but
think
we do
Antarctica-
get the penguins in Phillip Island, right? So coming up from
No, I want the
the
emperor one.
Antarctic. You're the big
I
ones.
want the big ones. The big ones.
Yep.
You know.
The
Uh-huh.
big ones waddle better. Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
that's it.
I know. Sometimes I walk like that, so it's all right. I've been told that, so it's okay. There we go. Aye.
Love that. And the last question.
Yes.
What's something that you could actually eat for a week straight? Same thing every day.
Oh. String, we know what you're gonna eat, okay?
Fried chicken every day, every meal, 5 days of the week, or 7 days of the week. Sorry.
I could eat rice paper rolls.
Rice
yeah.
paper
Mhm.
rolls. Okay. Mhm. Is that a Vietnamese delicacy?
So I have my mum's from my mum's hometown. They actually make rice paper rolls that are distributed all around the world. So
Oh, lovely.
I go to the shop and buy it from my mother's hometown. It's called Mì Tho in Vietnam. So always, like, it's my home food.
Fantastic. Love the answer. And String, come on, you can't choose fried chicken for both the flavor of ice cream as well as something that you'd eat every single day.
Don't you notice me? I'm on brand. Ching ching. I'm fried chicken all the way, baby.
So your answer is fried chicken again?
Yeah, like actually, like I remember like my boyfriend, he had cravings for fried chicken nuggets from McDonald's. So and every night for 10 p.m. he will order fried chicken nuggets, and I never say no.
Every night.
On
Well,
brand.
yeah, 5 days in a row. Like for some reason he wanted to eat fried chicken nuggets.
Whoa.
So he
Very
like at
healthy.
10 p.m. he always order fried chicken nuggets, and I never say no. So just letting you know.
Fantastic. Absolutely love that. Thank you so much. Diana and String, for spending time with us, having a lot of laughter, sharing your insights, your advice, telling us a little bit more about yourself, being vulnerable, and showing us a side that perhaps we couldn't have noticed. But there is one thing which I would like to request you. There's one more question each, which I would like to actually do, because we're not going to do our last segment, which we have both of you ask the other three people on screen one question, but we're going to ask you one specific question each. So what's something, and I want you both to think about it, what's something you would like to share with your audience here that they might not know about you?
Ooh.
I would request String to go first.
I'm an auntie of new twin girls.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Congratulations.
That's
Fantastic.
like something that's
Congrats.
telling him.
Congrats.
Yes.
Congrats.
Love that. Diana.
I don't think I've told it too many times on LinkedIn, but I was actually named after Princess Diana. My mum came here by boat, and she didn't know any English name, so she named me Princess Diana, and then named my sisters Princess Anne and Princess Sarah Fergie.
Oh,
Wow,
she likes it. That's cool.
Yeah, so there you go.
Awesome.
Real royal,
Brilliant.
everyone.
Yep.
Absolutely. 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 So thank you so much, Diana and String. Really appreciate the
Thank
time
you.
that you both have taken out of your
Thank you.
schedules. Joy, some closing notes from you, brother.
No, delightful, delightful. Meeting Diana, String, of course, the first time, and meeting Diana, meeting her literally also time. Reading, as I said, lurking on Diana's post, because the entertainment, Diana, that your content puts out, whether it's vulnerable, whether it's your comedy, whether it's a message, that's how I interpret it as an individual. I love the content you put out, number one. Number two, the way you and String have structured Fee and me, I'm just going to be waiting for the 16th of June now. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
And String, thank you. There's a lot of stuff that you've just shared, which are learnings under your V's and how to get to content and just learning. So it's been an honor, a privilege, and thank you for accepting to come onto the show this evening. Absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much once again. Wishing you both a fantastic day, and for all our friends in Australia, a happy pajama day, or happy Queen's birthday. Whichever way you like to see it. So it's a public holiday in Australia. It's a public holiday in Malaysia as well, and any other places in the world which are actually having a public holiday today, which is Monday, the 8th of June. Please put it in the comments below. It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you once again to everyone who's joining from around the world, who've taken their time to spend time with Joy and I, having this amazing discussion with Dancing Diana and Fried Chicken String. Really, really appreciate the time taken by both of you. Take care. See you guys.
Dance President. See you later. Bye. See you later.
Love that.